Hi, I'm Grateful Ted. Thanks for being here because I super appreciate the time that you invest in watching these videos. Now, it's been really cold where I live. There's been a couple of 3 weeks in a row where it really didn't get above freezing. But today is a little different. It's warmed up. My watch says that it's 46 degrees. And I wanted to see what I could get out and do for you. So I'm doing that here in Dufur, Oregon. Let's see what Dufur has to offer. Now, first I want to let you know that Dufur is not quite off the beaten path. If you're headed east out of Portland along Interstate 84, you turn right at the Dalles and you come down. It's about somewhere between a 20 and 30 minute drive, and it's totally worth it, especially one of the places I'm going to show you. All right, so let's look around. It's a very historic town. So since it's a historic town, let's start out at the Historical Society's Living History Museum. You can see the log cabin there. We're going to go back here. Since it's not summertime, I'm fairly confident that they don't have everything out that they would have if you come visit in the summer. I've been here where there's all kinds of things, some old agricultural equipment. This started out as an agricultural town back in the 1890s. It's an old rail car. And this is the blacksmith shop here. And again, and when it's in season, everything's open up and you can see all the old equipment. This is the old schoolhouse. You might be able to tell from that bell up there. So these are grain wagons, and up until World War I, grain was sacked in the field and hauled to warehouses along the Great Southern Rail line. Obviously, as the sign indicates, that's Mike and Tom's building. And they have something slightly more modern right here. If I'm not mistaken, that is an ancient tractor. More agricultural equipment, obviously. That building there is one of the original buildings in town. Now, the Dufur itself was named after the Dufur brothers, who had a big ranch in the area. Now, this is the old Fort Dufur. It's deteriorated quite a bit since the last time I was here, because if I remember correctly, it used to say Fort Dufur up there. I want to take you into the Balch Hotel. This is a really great place it's on the National Register of Historic Places. I've stayed here 3 or 4 times up there in that room there, and I'll show you what that looks like here. It's a canopy bedroom suite, actually. It's got its own table and bathroom, shower, all of that. And here we are inside. When you're here, it's like you are in the early 1900s. This is one of the coolest hotels I've ever stayed in. There's all kinds of stuff. I talked to the lady who's here, and she said she would have allowed me to film the bedroom that I normally stay in, but there's somebody in there today, so can't do that. But I do want to show you around this hotel, because it's certainly worth coming in, having dinner here, and very much worth staying. It's just a super cool place. They have a lot of different cool things that go on here. I'm going to take you into the dining area. It's dark, but you should be able to see it still. And they have dinners here. And I believe breakfasts, if I remember correctly. Now, during the summer, the hotel hosts art exhibits. They have concerts outside in the yard. There's all kinds of things to do in town. There's a threshing bee here every summer where lots of stuff happens that are related to threshing bees, and the hotel hosts some of those things too. Again, the link is down below, and if you have the opportunity to stay here, I highly, highly recommend it. You can see that the whole thing is set up from the early 1900s. Whichever room you get is set up that way. Show you a couple more rooms before we head out. The grounds of the hotel are also pretty cool. It's got art. There are activities during the summer. The times that I've stayed out here, done some things in the evening, some things in the morning, had a nice time. And it's very historic. All of the areas here in the yard are very historic. I always thought this was cool here. This is a headboard made into a bench. And of course it's winter now, but during the summer, that out there, that's all crops, wheat, hay, that kind of thing. And there's Cluckingham Palace. This is what it looks like from the other side. Once spring hits, this pond area down here is totally gorgeous. And of course, there's art all through the grounds here. The couple that owns this, they're just spectacular, and they are super nice. If you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back because you deserve it. Now, we're going to move on from here and we'll see what happens next week. But I think that you really should consider seeing Dufur if you're in the northern part of Central Oregon. It's really worth it, and I can't recommend the Balch Hotel enough, okay? So if you liked it, hit the like button and give it a thumbs up. I could always use subscribers. You might consider subscribing. And we'll have something different next week, I'm sure. And we will see you next week.